Some bands fade away quietly, others get rescued at the last possible moment. One new voice or musician can transform failure into legendary success. This is 12 backup musicians who saved dying bands. Number 12. Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks. Fleetwood Mac was circling the drain in 1974. Their blues rock era had ended years earlier. Guitarist Bob Welch had just quit, and Reprise Records was losing patience. The band had released 8 albums with minimal commercial success. Mick Fleetwood discovered the duo Buckingham Nicks playing in a Los Angeles studio. And made a desperate pitch. He needed a guitarist. Lindsey Buckingham agreed on one condition. Stevie Nicks came too. The gamble changed everything. Their self-titled 1975 album, Fleetwood Mac, sold over 5 million copies and hit number 1. The transformation was immediate and undeniable. Buckingham brought intricate guitar work and production genius, while Nicks contributed mystical lyrics and a voice that defined 1970s rock. Rumors arrived in 1977 and became one of the best-selling albums in history, moving over 40 million copies worldwide. Songs like Go Your Own Way, Go Your Own Way, Go Your Own Way, Dreams, Thunder on it, heaven's ready, and The Chain dominated radio for years. The band that couldn't fill clubs in 1974 was selling out stadiums by 1977. Buckingham's perfectionism in the studio and Nicks's stage presence created a combination Fleetwood Mac had desperately needed. This feeling follows me wherever I go. They turned a struggling British blues band into American rock royalty. Number 11. Phil Collins. Genesis was dying a slow death in 1975. Frontman Peter Gabriel had quit after the ambitious concept album The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, leaving the progressive rock band without a lead singer or clear direction. They auditioned over 400 singers, including a then-unknown Elton John collaborator, but nobody fit. Drummer Phil Collins had sung backup vocals for years and occasionally took lead on a song or two. Reluctantly, he stepped up to the microphone. The band's first self-titled album with Collins as frontman, A Trick of the Tail in 1976, show you others such as me. Why did I? Surprised critics and fans by reaching number 3 in the UK. But nobody predicted what came next. Collins didn't just save Genesis, he transformed them into one of the biggest bands of the 1980s. Invisible Touch sold over 6 million copies in the United States alone and spawned 5 top 5 singles. The progressive rock complexity gradually gave way to radio-friendly pop, alienating some longtime fans but creating millions of new ones. By the mid-1980s, Collins was simultaneously the biggest drummer-turned-frontman in rock and a solo superstar with hits like In the Air Tonight
I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
And Against All Odds.
Take a look at me now.
Genesis went from progressive rock cult favorites to mainstream chart dominators. His voice defined an entire decade of rock and pop music, proving that sometimes the right person is already in the room. Number 10. Steve Perry. Journey was failing badly by 1977.
The sky keeps on turning.
3. Albums with minimal sales, constant lineup changes, and Herbie Herbert's management team losing faith. Their jazz fusion-influenced progressive rock wasn't connecting with audiences.
When the lights go
Columbia Records wanted hits, or they'd drop the band. Guitarist Neil Schon and keyboard player Greg Rowley needed something different. They discovered Steve Perry singing in a small club in Los Angeles, backed by a band called Alien Project. His exceptional range and powerful tenor voice were immediately obvious. Herbert heard the demo tape and knew Journey had found their missing piece. Perry joined in time for Infinity in 1978. The results were staggering. Infinity went platinum, reaching number 21 on the Billboard 200 with hits like Wheel in the Sky and Lights.
Go down in the city.
But Perry was just getting started. Evolution in 1979 and Departure in 1980 went multi-platinum, and then Escape in 1981 sold 9 million copies with era-defining songs like Don't Stop Believin',
Don't stop believing.
Open Arms, and Who's Crying Now.
Crying now.
Journey became the quintessential arena rock band of the early 1980s, selling out stadiums worldwide. Perry's voice turned a struggling progressive rock band into one of the best-selling acts in American history. By the time he left in 1987, Journey had sold over 80 million records globally. Number 9, Grace Slick. Jefferson Airplane was going nowhere fast in 1966. Their debut album, Jefferson Airplane Takes Off, flopped, selling barely 10,000 copies. Original lead singer, Sina Tolley Anderson, left the band to raise her daughter, leaving a massive gap. The group needed someone with stage presence and a powerful voice to compete with San Francisco's exploding psychedelic rock scene. Grace Slick was performing with a band called The Great Society when Jefferson Airplane came calling.
I'm rooting like a tree, yes, I am now.
She brought 2 songs with her, Somebody to Love
Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love?
and White Rabbit.
Portion have fallen sloppy dead.
Those 2 tracks changed everything. Surrealistic Pillow dropped in February 1967 and climbed to number 3 on the Billboard 200.
Days I've left unstoned.
Both Somebody to Love and White Rabbit became top 10 hits, defining the summer of love and psychedelic rock for an entire generation. Slick's powerful, almost operatic voice gave Jefferson Airplane the commercial breakthrough they desperately needed. The album sold over 1 million copies within a year. She became the face and voice of San Francisco's counterculture movement, performing at Woodstock in 1969 and dominating FM radio through the early 1970s. Grace Slick didn't just save Jefferson Airplane, she made them legends. Her contribution to rock music remains undeniable decades later. Before we get to the top 8, which transformation surprised you the most? Ever wonder what happened to your favorite classic rock band? Drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. Number 8, Michael McDonald. The Doobie Brothers faced catastrophe in 1975.
So I have to deal with you now. Gotta get a message, get it all through.
Lead singer and primary songwriter Tom Johnston developed a bleeding ulcer and couldn't tour, contractually obligated to finish their tour schedule. But without Johnston's distinctive voice, they had nothing. Steely Dan's session keyboardist Michael McDonald had worked extensively as a backup vocalist. Desperate, they asked him to join full-time. McDonald's blue-eyed soul voice was completely different from Johnston's rock rasp. Critics predicted disaster. Instead, McDonald's first album with the band, Taking It to the Streets, went platinum and hit number 8 on the Billboard 200 in 1976. McDonald transformed the Doobie Brothers from a boogie rock band into sophisticated R&B influenced hitmakers. Minute by Minute, in 1978, sold over 3 million copies, won 4 Grammy Awards,
I'll be holding on. I'll be holding on.
and featured the #1 single, What a Fool Believes, co-written by McDonald and Kenny Loggins.
Can't come, and love can't go. Why can't love?
Real Love and Minute by Minute became massive radio hits. The sound was smoother, more soulful, and ironically more commercially successful than anything the band had done with Johnston. When Tom Johnston returned briefly, the two styles clashed, and McDonald became the undisputed leader. He saved a band on the verge of breaking up and turned them into late 1970s radio staples. His distinctive voice defined their most successful era. Number 7. David Ruffin. The Temptations were Motown failures in early 1964. Formed in 1960, they'd released multiple singles that went nowhere. Berry Gordy was considering dropping them from the label entirely. They had talent, choreography, and matching suits, but no identity and no hits. David Ruffin had been singing with the Dixie Nightingales and hanging around Motown studios, occasionally contributing background vocals.
Once I had a little girl.
When Elbridge Bryant left the Temptations, Ruffin officially joined in 1964. Producer Smokey Robinson immediately recognized Ruffin's emotional, gospel-influenced tenor as something special. He wrote My Girl specifically for Ruffin's voice.
Talking about my girl, my girl.
The song hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in March 1965. Everything changed overnight. My Girl became Motown's biggest hit up to that point, and the Temptations' signature song for decades. Ruffin's passionate, yearning vocal style defined the Classic Five lineup era. Follow-up hits like Ain't Too Proud to Beg I Wish It Would Rain
Just let it rain. Oh, yeah.
and I'm Losing You
Ooh, baby, I'm losing you.
all showcased his distinctive voice. The Temptations became Motown's premier male group, rivaling the Four Tops and eventually outselling almost everyone except the Supremes. Ruffin's contributions were so significant that when Motown fired him in 1968 for excessive ego and missing performances, the group struggled to maintain their momentum.
I don't wanna lose you. I don't wanna lose you.
He saved the Temptations from obscurity and turned them into soul music legends. Number 6. Bruce Johnston. The Beach Boys were in chaos by 1965.
There's a place called Kokomo.
Brian Wilson had suffered a nervous breakdown on a plane and quit touring to focus on studio work. The group needed someone who could sing Brian's complex falsetto parts on the road while also playing bass and keyboards. Session musician Bruce Johnston got the call in April 1965, initially just as a touring fill-in. He knew the material, could harmonize perfectly, and understood Brian's vision. What started as a temporary solution became permanent. Johnston's presence stabilized a band that was fracturing under the pressure of fame.
Things that I wished for, now they're all coming true.
Brian's mental health struggles and constant touring demand. Johnston did more than fill a gap. He contributed songwriting and vocals to several albums, most notably co-writing I Write the Songs, which became a massive hit for Barry Manilow in 1975.
I am music and I write the songs.
His steady professionalism kept the Beach Boys functioning through their most turbulent period from 1965 through the 1970s. While Brian Wilson created masterpieces like Pet Sounds in the studio, Johnston ensured audiences still got authentic Beach Boys experiences on tour. He appeared on classic albums including Pet Sounds, Surf's Up, and Sunflower, singing alongside Brian, Carl Wilson, Mike Love, and ally. The Beach Boys survived Brian's retreat from touring largely because Johnston seamlessly stepped into an impossible role. He's still touring with Mike Love's version of the band decades later. Before we continue, which band transformation caught you off guard? Did you grow up listening to these classic hits? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Number 5. Bill Champlin. Chicago was collapsing in 1981.
Needs a little time away. I heard her say.
Founding member and guitarist Terry Kath had accidentally shot himself in 1978, devastating the band emotionally and creatively. Their albums were declining in quality and sales. Chicago 14 in 1980 barely scraped gold certification after years of multi-platinum success. Columbia Records was pressuring them to modernize their sound or face irrelevance. Producer David Foster suggested bringing in Bill Champlin, a vocalist and keyboardist who'd fronted the band Sons of Champlin and worked as a session musician. Champlin joined Chicago in 1981, contributing to Chicago 16. His contemporary songwriting style and powerful vocals aligned perfectly with Foster's vision of radio-friendly pop rock. The transformation was remarkable. Chicago 16 went platinum, spawning the #1 hit, Hard to Say I'm Sorry.
Hold me now. It's hard for me to say I'm sorry.
Champlin co-wrote the song with Peter Cetera and David Foster, marking Chicago's return to commercial dominance. Chicago 17 in 1984 sold over 6 million copies with hits like You're the Inspiration
You're the meaning in my life. You're the inspiration.
and Hard Habit to Break.
My love to feel.
Champlin's voice blended seamlessly with the band's established harmonies while bringing a modern edge that appealed to MTV audiences. He contributed lead vocals, keyboard work, and guitar, filling the creative void left by Kath's death. Chicago went from a band mourning its past to a revitalized hitmaker dominating 1980s radio. Champlin remained with Chicago for nearly 3 decades, cementing his role as the musician who saved them from obscurity. Number 4. Tommy Shaw. Styx was struggling in 1975 despite years of hard work.
River, it touches my life like the waves on the sand.
They'd released 5 albums with modest sales and minimal radio play. Equinox had just come out, but A&M Records wasn't confident in their future. Guitarist and vocalist John Kurolewski suddenly quit the band right before a major tour, leaving them without a key member. They desperately needed someone who could play guitar, sing lead, and write commercial songs. Tommy Shaw, a 21-year-old guitarist from Montgomery, Alabama, auditioned and impressed everyone immediately. His melodic sensibility and powerful voice were exactly what Styx lacked. He joined in time to tour behind Equinox and contribute to their next album, Crystal Ball, in 1976. Shaw's impact was transformative. Crystal Ball went gold, and then The Grand Illusion in 1977 went triple platinum, hitting number 6 on the Billboard 200. Shaw's songs Fooling Yourself and Crystal Ball became FM radio staples. His guitar work and vocals balanced perfectly against Dennis DeYoung's keyboards and theatrical style. Pieces of 8 in 1978,
It's 6 o'clock, it's quitting time, I'm done for the day.
and Cornerstone in 1979 continued the streak, with Cornerstone featuring Shaw's composition Renegade, which hit number 16 on the Billboard Hot 100. Styx became one of America's biggest arena rock bands, selling out stadiums throughout the late 1970s and early 1980s. Shaw's arrival turned a struggling progressive rock band into multi-platinum superstars. His contributions defined their classic era and saved them from complete obscurity. Number 3. Kevin Cronin. REO Speedwagon was going nowhere by 1976. Cronin had actually joined the band in 1972, contributed to 1 album, then left due to creative differences with guitarist Gary Richrath. Vocalist Mike Murphy replaced him, but the band's albums continued to underperform. This Time We Mean It in 1975 barely charted, and Epic Records was losing patience. The chemistry between Murphy and the rest of the band wasn't working. Cronin and Richrath reconciled, and Cronin returned to REO Speedwagon in early 1976. His second tenure started slowly with REO later that year, but everything was about to change dramatically. Cronin's songwriting and distinctive voice transformed REO Speedwagon into arena rock giants. You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. In 1978 went double platinum.
Sooner or later you will find a way.
High Infidelity in 1980 became a cultural phenomenon. Selling over 10 million copies in the United States alone. It dominated the Billboard 200 for 15 weeks at number 1, featuring hits like Keep On Loving You, Take It on the Run, and Don't Let 'Em Go. Cronin wrote or co-wrote most of the album's biggest tracks. REO Speedwagon went from a band that couldn't fill clubs to selling out stadiums and dominating MTV. Cronin's return quite literally saved the band from breaking up entirely. His partnership with Gary Richrath defined 1980s heartland rock and made REO Speedwagon multi-platinum legends. Number 2. Mickey Thomas. Jefferson Starship was dying in 1979. Grace Slick had left the band, again struggling with substance abuse. Founding member Marty Balin had also departed, frustrated with the band's direction. Grunt Records and the remaining members needed a vocalist who could deliver both rock power and radio-friendly hooks. Mickey Thomas had sung lead for the Elvin Bishop Band on the hit Fooled Around and Fell in Love in 1976. His high tenor range and commercial sensibility seemed like a perfect fit. He joined Jefferson Starship for Freedom at Point Zero in 1979, sharing vocal duties with Grace Slick, who briefly returned before leaving again permanently. Thomas became the undisputed lead vocalist and guided Jefferson Starship through their most commercially successful period. Modern Times in 1981 went platinum with the hit Find Your Way Back.
Find your way back to her heart. Find your way back.
When the band legally became simply Starship in 1985 after Paul Kantner's departure, Thomas led them to even bigger success. We Built This City hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1985, followed by Sarah and Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now, both also reaching number 1. Knee Deep in the Hoopla sold double platinum. Critics despised the slick, synth-heavy pop rock sound, and Rolling Stone later called We Built This City one of the worst songs ever recorded. But Thomas had achieved exactly what he was hired to do: save a dying band and make them commercially viable. Jefferson Starship survived because Mickey Thomas understood what 1980s radio demanded. Number 1. Bob Welch. Fleetwood Mac was finished in 1971. Founder Peter Green had left the band in 1970 after a severe mental breakdown, reportedly caused by LSD and schizophrenia. Guitarist Jeremy Spencer disappeared in Los Angeles, joining a religious cult and abandoning the band mid-tour. Guitarist Danny Kerwin was fired for erratic behavior and violent outbursts. Reprise Records had lost confidence, and Mick Fleetwood was desperately searching for someone to stabilize the group. Bob Welch, an American guitarist and songwriter, joined in April 1971. He had no idea he was stepping into complete chaos.
All of the things that they say are very sentimental.
Welch didn't just save Fleetwood Mac, he rebuilt them from the ground up. His songwriting on Future Games, Bare Trees, and Mystery to Me transitioned the band from British blues to California rock, making them commercially viable in America. Heroes are hard to find. In 1974, cracked the Billboard Top 40 for the first time in years. Welch's smooth vocals and pop sensibilities laid the foundation for what Fleetwood Mac would become. Then, tragically, he left the band in December 1974, exhausted and frustrated, just months before Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks joined. He never got to experience the mega success of Rumors. Welch found solo success with hits like Sentimental Lady and Ebony Eye, but struggled with health problems later in life. In June 2012, at age 66, he died by suicide. Bob Welch saved Fleetwood Mac when nobody else could, then walked away just before they became the biggest band in the world.